Hi, hello to all the students of 10th standard CBSE. Here we are to practice the case-based questions on respiration in plants for class 10th. Why case-based questions are more important? Because you can get maximum marks from the case-based questions, but to get the complete marks from each case-based questions, you have to follow certain tricks and practice is required. Stay tuned for other 10 to 15 minutes. You will be practicing 5 case-based questions here. Okay, total 5 case studies you are going to solve now. So, stay tuned for other 10 to 15 minutes. It will be clear from you from this chapter, respiration in plants. So, first case study, if you see beta, breathing through stomata. During a practical session, a student observed the underside of the leaf. Underside means what side beta? If this is the leaf structure, underside means the lower side of the leaf. Okay, underside means which side he is saying? Lower side of the leaf. Lower side of a leaf, using microscope and found small pore like openings there. So, they called it as what? Stomata. The teacher explained that these pores help in gaseous exchange, oxygen enters and carbon dioxide leaves during respiration, and vice versa during photosynthesis. Guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomata. This is what the content that is given in the case study. Let us solve the MCQs based on this. Okay, 3 questions of 5 will be direct from the passage. The rest 2 you have to answer based on the tricks given here. So, first question, where are the stomata usually found in the leaf according to this passage? Lower side, underside means lower side, right? So, on the lower side you find the stomata usually for a leaf. Which cells control the opening and closing of the stomata? This is also given directly in the passage, that is guard cells, right? Third question, if you see beta, what is the primary function of stomata during respiration? Respiration, the obvious function is what? Gaseous exchange. That is also given in the paragraph. During which time do stomata usually remain open? This is not given. Usually stomata remains open during daytime. Here I will add on 2 more points for you. So, the stomata which is open during daytime is called as photoactive stomata. Photoactive stomata. So, usually stomata is open during daytime, but during night time the stomata also opens. So, the stomata which opens during night time is called as scotoactive stomata. It is called as scotoactive stomata. Scotoactive stomata you see usually in the desert plants. Usually you will observe this in desert plants like cactus, opuntia, wherein stomata opens during night time and closes during daytime to prevent the process of transpiration in the desert plants. Do remember, these are 2 additional points to be noted. Next question, if you have to observe beta, which gases are exchanged through stomata during respiration? During respiration, what gases are exchanged? Oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? This is also given. Next case study, if you have to observe, Rohan noticed small raised spots on the bark of tree trunk. His teacher told him those are lenticels, okay, which allow the exchange of gases in woody stems where stomata are completely absent. Lenticels remain open all the time and support continuous respiration in trees. This is what is given, right? First question, if you have to see, lenticels are found in where? So, here itself he is saying lenticels are found in woody stems. Directly you can answer. Second question, the main function of lenticels is what? Gaseous exchange. That is also given. Okay, the main function of lenticels is what? Gaseous exchange. Next, if you see, lenticels remain open completely all the time. It is not like daytime and night time, it is open completely all the time. Next, Which of the following plant parts use lenticels for respiration? Of course, it is stems of the trees, because lenticels are present on the bark of the stems, okay, bark of woody stems. Next, lenticels are located in cork layer of the bark. What is cork layer, beta? The superficial layer or the above layer which is present over the bark, that is called as cork layer. Understood? Next, third case study, respiration in roots. So, during biology experiment, students placed potted plants in waterlogged soil. After a few days, the plants wilted because they are placed in waterlogged soil. The teacher explained that roots were unable to respire properly, okay, as oxygen was unavailable. When oxygen is unavailable and roots are placed in such condition, we call such condition as hypoxia, okay, where oxygen is not available. Normally, roots take oxygen dissolved in soil water for respiration, right? So, this is all about the passage. Now, let us look into the MCQs. Roots obtain oxygen for respiration from soil air, okay. The roots whichever are close to the soil, okay, from soil air the gases are exchanged in the roots, okay. Next, in waterlogged conditions, plants will, waterlogged conditions, what does plant do? It will wilt due to lack of oxygen. This is also given in the question. Which process is directly affected in the root respiration when oxygen is unavailable? When oxygen is unavailable, what process is directly affected, he is saying, okay, which process is directly affected? Of course, it is aerobic respiration, right. Next, which structure in the roots help in absorbing oxygen? It is of course root hairs, okay. Next, lack of oxygen in roots may lead to, okay, lack of oxygen leads to what? Anaerobic respiration. Fine. So, yes, all this is clear, right. So, with regards to case study 3, you just have 2 direct questions, rest 3 are application only. Based on the question and the case study you have to answer. It is not directly given in the passage. Now, 4, that is respiration in stem. In a classroom activity, green stem was covered with a bell jar and tested for oxygen and carbon dioxide. It was observed that gaseous exchange occurs through epidermal layer and lenticels of the stem. In herbaceous plants, the green stem also performs photosynthesis, okay. This is all about the case study. Let us look into the MCQs. In which woody stems gases are exchanged through? In non-woody stems, gases are exchanged through what? Gases are exchanged through epidermis only, because lenticels are present only in the woody stems, right beta? In woody stems, gaseous exchange is through lenticels. This is direct again. Which process occurs in green stems during the day? Okay, during the daytime, what process occurs in green stems? Both respiration and photosynthesis both occurs, because green stems have what, Nana? They have chloroplast in the epidermal cells. They have chloroplast in epidermal cells. Okay, so do remember they conduct both. Next, which of the following is not a function of the stem? What is not a function of the stem? What is not a function? Food absorption, right? This is not a function of the stem. Gaseous exchange is a function. Giving support, mechanical support to the plant is a function. Transport of materials is a function, but food absorption is not the function of the stem. Next, stems of which plants use lenticels for respiration? Which plants? Woody plants. Woody plants means what? Trees, right? Next, last case study, aerobic respiration in plants. It is about aerobic respiration in plants. In a sealed jar, a plant was kept with glowing candle and water. The candle extinguished quickly, indicating the presence of carbon dioxide. Okay, listen carefully. This proved that the plant was undergoing aerobic respiration using oxygen to break down glucose and release carbon dioxide, water and energy. These are the end products of aerobic respiration, remember, in the form of ATP. Let us exercise the MCQs. First, what is the end product of aerobic respiration? Of course, it is directly given in the passage, right? Carbon dioxide, water and energy. Second question, which gas is essential for aerobic respiration? What is essential for aerobic respiration? Definitely oxygenic conditions or oxygen. Third question, which part of the plant cell does aerobic respiration? Which part of the plant cell? Of course, it is mitochondria. This you have to apply. Okay. Which organelle is conducting aerobic respiration? Mitochondria. Next, what is the main source of energy for all plant activities? Main source of energy is ATP, and ATP you call it as cellular energy. Fine. Next, which of the following is not a product of aerobic respiration? What is not a product of aerobic respiration? Oxygen, right? Because for respiration, oxygen is required. ATP, carbon dioxide, water and energy, these are the products of aerobic respiration, not oxygen. So yes, with this we have finished the chapter respiration and plants. This is not just about case studies, beta. Looking into this session, you can get to know many concepts as well. You can revise more concepts and you can answer your questions in a more easier way. Stay tuned. Thank you.